Welcome back to the Bee Code by Tiffany. Today's episode is one that sits at the core of the Bee Code because it's about power, where we give it away, and how we take it back. And there's one habit that quietly drains our energy and it clouds our perception and it keeps us stuck without us even realizing it. And that habit is complaining. Because here's the truth. Where your focus goes, your life flows. I'm sure you've heard that before. And the B Code is not about pretending that life is perfect. It's about becoming conscious of where your energy lives. So let me ask you something. Do you know those people when you ask, "How are you?" and they immediately start listing everything that's wrong? Or, if we're being honest, have you ever been that person? I know I have. This episode of the Bee Code was brought to you by my upcoming book, How to Become a Bitch and Live Happily Ever After. In this book, I reclaim bitch as an acronym. It's not about attitude, it's about freedom. And inside, I take you deeper into each of these 5 pillars, expanding them into a full journey back to yourself. This book is my heart, my story, and the framework that has helped countless women transform their lives. It comes out this year, but you don't have to wait. I created a free Bee Code starter guide just for you. 5 pillars, 5 practices, 1 powerful shift, so that you can start stepping into your bold, independent, tenacious, confident, and honest self, which just happens to be the best version of you. It's yours at blossomlifeco.com/Bee Code starter guide. Download it today and start living your Bee Code. So from the Bee Code perspective, complaining isn't bad in itself. It's unconscious, right? Complaining happens when a woman has momentarily forgot her power, not because she's weak, but because she's overwhelmed, unseen, or possibly disconnected from herself. Complaining becomes a default when we feel out of control or we want validation, or we just want someone to see our pain. But here's what happens when complaining becomes a habit. Your brain starts scanning for proof that life is against you. And trust me, your brain will find it. Your nervous system stays in a state of constant stress, and you slowly lose access to gratitude, creativity, and even clarity. You don't stop having good things happen, you just stop seeing them. I want to share a moment that changed everything for someone I met. I was attending a meditation class, and there was a woman there who stood out, and not because she was loud, but because of her energy. Every time someone asked her, "How are you doing?" she responded with a full inventory of what was going wrong in her life. And people listened, they nodded, and of course they validated. And one day I asked her myself, and she did the same thing. And I listened fully, and I acknowledged her, and I let her know that she was seen. And then I gently asked her something that changed everything. I said, "Wow, that seems like a lot. So, what's going on in your life right now that's positive?" She paused and she thought, and then instantly her entire body shifted. Her shoulders dropped, her posture changed, her voice softened, her energy lifted. She paused again, and then she started naming all of the amazing, beautiful things going on in her life. Things that she hadn't been assessing, or accessing, I should say. And I said to her, "Wow, you actually have a lot of amazing things going on right now." And she looked at me and she said, "Wow, yeah, you're right. I never thought of it that way." And that moment was a Bee Code awakening. Eventually, she became a client. And today, she still catches herself when she slips into complaining mode. And that becomes a default mode for a lot of people. I know it was for me for a while. But now she knows how to choose again, and she catches herself every moment. And it's not that we don't have bad things happening in our life. It's not that we can't tell a trusted friend. But when you continually talk about only the negative things in your life, that's what you're going to bring into your life. That's going to be the energy. That's going to be your mindset. That's going to be who you draw into your life. So, this particular person that I'm talking about, she has completely switched her mindset and she has become a way more positive person who's attracting way more positive things in her life. And it's so amazing to watch. Let's talk about how complaining relates to each letter of the B code. So, B for bold. Bold women don't deny their feelings, but they're bold enough to tell themselves the whole truth. Complaining is often fear disguised as conversation, and boldness says, I can acknowledge what's hard without letting it define me. And bold women ask, what part of this do I have power over right now? I for independent. Complaining often means we're outsourcing our emotional regulation. Independent women don't wait to be rescued. They don't live in victimhood. They process and then lead themselves forward. Independence says, I can emotionally support myself even when life feels heavy. T for tenacious. Complaining is easy, right? Reframing takes tenacity. So tenacious women catch themselves, redirect their focus, and they stay committed to growth. Tenacity is choosing again and again and again until it becomes your new default. C for confident. Confidence isn't pretending everything is fine. Confidence is trusting that I can handle this, I will find my way, and this moment does not define me. Confident women don't need to rehearse their pain to validate it. And lastly, H for honest. This is the deepest layer, I feel like. Because honesty asks, am I sharing to heal or am I sharing to stay stuck? Honest women tell themselves the full story, including what's still good. And that's the B code. I want to be clear about something. The B code does not deny pain. Hard things happen, loss happens, challenges happen, right? We all have them. But even in difficult seasons, there is always something grounding us. Maybe a roof over your head or food to eat, your breath, for crying out loud, your health, a loyal animal, maybe a friend, or just a tree outside your window. When we only focus on what's wrong, we become blind to everything that's right. And blindness is what keeps us stuck. So here's your B code practice today, and for the next 7 days, actually. Before you complain, I want you to pause and I want you to ask yourself, is this something I need support with? Or is this my default pattern speaking? And then ask, what is one thing that is good right now? And say it out loud. Your body will feel the shift immediately. And of course, in every episode, I'm going to do my flip the switch. So these are the 3 C's for complaining. I want you to catch it, challenge it, and then choose it. So maybe you catch yourself saying, I notice I'm complaining. Now I want you to challenge it. And I want you to ask yourself, is this the only truth right now? And then, most importantly, choose again. And ask yourself, what is one thing that I can focus on that empowers me? Here's a short little mantra. Catch the complaint, challenge the story, and then choose the focus. So my intention for you is not that you never complain, because life is real, challenges are real, and emotions are definitely real. My intention is that complaining no longer becomes the place that you live, and that it stops being your default setting, your go-to response, or the story that you unconsciously rehearse every time someone asks you how you are. My intention is that you begin to recognize when complaining is no longer serving you, and when it no longer is helping you process, but quietly keeping you stuck. I want you to become aware of the moment that you start listing everything that's wrong, and not to judge yourself, but to lovingly pause and ask yourself, Is this the only truth right now? My intention is that you remember who you are through the BITCH lens, and that you allow yourself to be bold enough to acknowledge what's hard without letting it define your entire life, and that you step into your independence by learning how to self-soothe, self-lead, and self-support instead of handing your power away to the problem, and that you stay tenacious, catching yourself, redirecting your focus, and then choosing again, even when your old patterns try to pull you back, because they will. And that you lead with confidence, trusting that you can handle discomfort without rehearsing it out loud over and over again. And that you remain honest with yourself, not just about what hurts, but about what's still good and still working and still worthy of your attention. And my intention for you is that you stop identifying as someone who is always dealing with something and start seeing yourself as someone who is capable, resourced, and grounded, even in the middle of life's challenges. And that you learn to visit your pain without building a home there. And that you remember your words carry energy every time they are spoken. And your energy is actually shaping your life. And when you catch yourself slipping into complaining, you don't shame yourself. You simply flip the switch. And you flip the switch consistently. You catch it, you challenge it, and you choose again. Because you are not here to live in lack. You are here to be defined by what's right, not what's wrong. You are here to live the BITCH code with awareness, intention, and self-respect. And that is where your power lives. As we close, I want you to take this with you. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. And not because life is always easy, but because your attention is powerful. So really be aware of where you place your attention. Complaining doesn't mean you're negative. It just means in that moment, your power has slipped out of your awareness. And the moment you become aware, you get to choose again. Awareness restores choice, and choice restores power. Gratitude doesn't erase what's hard. It actually expands your perception so that you could see the whole truth of your life and not just the part that hurts. And when you return to the B code, to being bold, independent, tenacious, confident, and honest, you come home. Actually, you come back home to yourself. This isn't about doing it once. This is about consistency. Because consistency is what creates transformation. We all know that. Not perfection or pretending, just choosing again and again and again. We're going to make mistakes. So I want to leave you with this one affirmation. And if it feels right, really let it land. I choose consciousness over complaint. I reclaim my power in every moment. I honor what is hard without living there. I focus on what is good, what is growing, and what is possible. I live the B code boldly, independently, tenaciously, confidently, and honestly. And that is how we stop complaining as our default and start living as a woman who leads herself with intention. And that is the B code. Thank you. And I want you to know that you're not broken. You don't need fixing. What you need is remembering. Remembering how to tap into your worth, your voice, your power. And that's what we're going to do here together, here on this podcast. Because you are the heroine of your own story. I'm just here to remind you. So I hope you tune in and join me every other week to get your dose of truth, empowerment, and perhaps a gentle nudge to become the woman you were always meant to be.